Hello everyone, welcome to the very first CABAL 2 Character Spotlight series. This spotlight will feature the cloth wearers of CABAL 2, the Wizard and the Priest. Let's start with the Wizard. The Wizard is a ranged, high damage dealing class that converts force into raw, destructive power. While they do wear light armor, the damage that a wizard brings into a fight is no laughing matter. Here, outfitted in late game Beast 5 armor, is our Wizard, primed and ready to go. Set up your abilities in your hotbar how you like them, and keep in mind that learning what each individual ability can do in sequence with others will get you into the top tier of damage dealers in CABAL 2. You'll read which abilities are buff skills, Pyronomicon for wizards, which increases fire damage, which are damage abilities, and which are defensive abilities. Clicking on consecutive will show you all of your possible chains that you can execute with proper timing. Also keep in mind that Power of Change is your battle mode ability, so keep track of that as well. Once you've figured out where to place your abilities, it's time to attack. The Wizard is most effective at long range, and if played correctly will annihilate most standard mobs with a single rotation. But you have to choose which abilities go in the right order against different mobs. Now, remember, as a wizard, your goal is to stay on the move, combo or no combo, stay out of reach. With this chain, I start off with Ice Lance, a consecutive ability that slows the enemy target on hit. This buys me more time to land more abilities to kill the enemy before he can even touch me. With a range class, starting off with your CC abilities can usually get you into a position where the enemy can't reach you without taking 5 or 6 fireballs to the face. You don't always have to use the same abilities in order to get those kiting results. Using Frostfire, an immensely satisfying ability to use, does about the same amount of damage as 2 consecutive hits of Fireball, with the offset of a longer cooldown. So don't feel like you're confined to only using 2 ability chains. Another thing to consider is your dot, or damage over time, called burning, which will make sure your enemies are constantly taking damage even if you're running around. So always make sure to place that on your target, preferably sooner than later to really take advantage of the skill. Use meditation to get your mana quickly, and that comes in handy during a prolonged fight. Now, keeping away from enemies is a must for wizards, so take advantage of the global skill Dash and the wizard-only ability Blink, which will, combined, get you to a safe distance away from any enemy if used properly. But getting used to your abilities and how they work will essentially guarantee you a kill if you keep a safe distance. But of course, wizards are the king of AoE, and taking out 2 mobs or more, as long as they're not boss mobs, can be done with little risk to your character. Using Pillar of Flame, then using my Root Ice Torrent, followed by Blizzard, just got me 2 easy kills without skipping a beat. Now, we wouldn't leave your wizard completely defenseless in a fight, so make sure you're aware of your defensive skills. Picking up a mob accidentally, or waiting for backup, is an excellent time to take advantage of your Frozen Tomb, which seals you in a case of ice, making you immune to all damage. And once it's over, root 1 array, and then finish off that enemy in retaliation. You also have a mana shield, which reduces your damage taken for a period of time, and can be used if you can afford to take a little damage but can't really run away. And then there's Deep Freeze, that does nothing to you but will make an enemy trapped in ice, incapacitating him, while you scoot around him in safety. Know that any damage to the target you do will break the hold on them. The Wizard battle mode, Power of Change, really shows off the raw power a wizard possesses. Their main consecutive is a brutal ice attack that sends their enemies to their doom. Their AoE is a fiery show of power, capable of destroying many enemies at once. And their CC and self-heal buttons keep the wizard safe from harm. Their nuke ability combines both fire and ice to completely annihilate their opponents, and becomes a force to be reckoned with. It's entirely addicting to use. And now we're with the Priest, the essential healer of Cabal 2. The Priest utilizes force to bring life into her allies and harm her enemies. The Priest is the second cloth wearer that is mostly a healer, but still brings some damage that is basically reverse healing. No, really, she harms her enemies with the power of healing. It's a thing. Her bar could look a little chaotic, but of course, knowing which abilities are which keeps it from being overwhelming. Her main consecutive attacks are listed, so you can see that she does deal enough damage to protect herself, especially in soloing. Her slow is Entangling Revenge, which slows her enemy, which allows you to use her God, Seed of Purification, then use her main damage ability, Divine Light, a spell, not a heal damage. Again, it's a thing. She also has a channel spell, Cleansing Touch, that deals significant damage to the enemy, priming them for a good old slow and some more Divine Light. She also has Holy Strike, which gives her a quick burst of damage that can be used in kiting and setting up an enemy for a rotation of damage, but can get you hurt if you're not a safe distance away while using it. Then heal yourself up and start getting used to your other healing abilities. The Priest is, as you guessed, a healing class. She can effectively use her abilities to keep herself, while soloing, or her allies alive efficiently. You can tackle 2 mobs at once, but obviously they'll hurt, so start using those heals. Her main heals are Swift Mend, Healing Light, and Light of Revival. Heal cleanses her allies of enemy debuffs and heals slightly if a debuff is successfully removed. She is an effective solo leveler while balancing her abilities correctly, but helping out her fellow players is always encouraged. Her other heals, which can't be spammed and must be used properly, is Desperate Prayer, which is essentially a nuke heal with a long cooldown, used in emergencies, and Divine Plea, which is a channeled heal that heals all group members in that area. The Priest can also toggle between 3 elemental resistance auras and has a group buff, Divine Spirit, that buffs mana regen. Repentance allows the Priest to be safe from harm for a limited amount of time, which could save her life if she's being targeted by a strong enemy mob, or if she just needs to buy more time before finishing that enemy off. Her heals are most effective in a party, where she can keep her group members up if they take damage, along with dealing damage to the enemy. The Priest battle mode, while being one of the prettier ones out there, is incredibly useful in keeping her teammates alive in a time of crisis. She has 2 damage abilities that will keep her enemies down and provide some utility to the priest if her allies are not near. But of course, her true power lies in her healing. She has 2 strong heals, a shield, and a debuff that makes her a must-need in any party situation, whether it be PvE or PvP. Both classes bring their own unique kit into the battlefield, and both are needed to conquer these lands. Make sure to tune in next time as I cover the leather wearers of Cabal 2, the Force Archer and the Force Blader. I am GM Icee, and thank you all for watching.